Girls Only Sports. We are here at the Final Four Watch Women Win Columbus event with the very own Clara Sharp, the founder of Watch Women Win. We wanted to come a bit early to gain some insight from Clara about what she's been able to create here in Columbus for women, for everyone, not just women,
That's
women,
right.
men, kids,
Everybody.
families, to watch women's sports. So Clara Sharp, Watch Women Win Columbus.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Just to ask you a couple of questions just
Sure.
to get more information about what you've created, more information about you. So as we get started, just your backstory a little bit about where you're from, how you got started, your interest in sports.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely not from Ohio. I grew up in New Mexico, actually. Went to a really small school. My love was always basketball.
Yeah.
Grew up with there were 4 girls before there was a boy. So I was kind of like the tomboy, just always loved basketball was my thing. I actually ended up moving schools a half hour away to go play at a different school. Like that's how much basketball meant to me. And when I moved there, the first year we won the first state championship they ever won. And so I always have that little claim to fame for myself. Was a state all-star. That doesn't always happen. But yeah, just have always loved sports. And I've been here in Columbus for like 13 years now. And I don't know, I love sports, but I'm like, there's got to be more in our city.
Yeah.
And I just never thought about it too much, honestly, and I should have.
Yeah.
But, I was kind of going through a hard time.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, I've always wanted to be in sports, but never found a way to get into sports. And that was always hard for me. And it was just later in life for me. And I thought, what can I do? There's all these bars popping up. I don't really want to, run a bar. I don't know how to do one, but I could figure it out. And so I got a business coach actually, and we were talking about it. She's like, I don't think you actually want to open a bar. It sounds like you want to bring the community together around women's sports. And I said, yeah. She's like, do a bar takeover. I'm like, well, that's easy. I can do that because my love is event planning.
Yeah.
So this is the part I love. And I was like, all right, let's do it. So I just started reaching out to bars.
Before I ask you a bit more about Watch Women Win, what was that moment that you remember that your first memory of watching women win that kind of initiated all of this?
Yeah, I think in the beginning, for me, it was always the Lady Vols and Pat Summitt. She is like a hero for me. I actually got to meet her once. Of course, I didn't say anything because I didn't know what to say. I just turned my back around and she signed a shirt that it said, remember when shooting like a girl used to be an insult? And it was something where we don't even think about that now.
Right.
But I remember that. She signed it on my shoulder and I didn't even say 2 words, so I didn't even know what to say. I was just like starstruck. But it was always that because back then you didn't see all these women, right? All these women's sports.
Right.
It was very, very limited. So I think that was the beginning of my love for it.
Pat Summitt, Lady Vols, same.
Yep.
Same.
Yep.
The 3 Meeks, the 3P, all of
Yes,
that.
yes.
You talked a little bit about wanting to build a community and event planning to start Watch Women Win. So, and what inspired you to actually create it?
Honestly, I just felt like there was a need. So many people say, yeah, I go to a bar, I ask them to drain the channel. And sometimes you get a little pushback, sometimes you don't. But people just don't know where to go.
Yeah.
So I just thought, why don't I see if I can work with some bars and basically create space in a bar, not have the bar take over the bar, but just like a little bit of space for us, put on the TVs, put the sound on, and let us like watch together and commune together over women's sports. And so I just started asking people, and some people finally started saying yes, and I guess the story goes on from there.
Yeah, I know. So for so many of us, we always look for ways into women's sports and try to build community, try to learn. What were some of your fears in starting out? I know a lot of people want to get involved in some way, whether it's just to be fans, whether it's to create an event space, whether it's to open a bar. Those are many of those popping up, including one right here in Columbus they're fundraising for. So what were kind of your fears or, some of the setbacks that you had before you were able to blossom it?
Yeah, I think in the beginning, I'm like, people really come to this, like honestly, like I knew they would, but how am I going to find that community? Because I've lived here for 13 years and I know more people now than I have in the last 13 years through this.
Yeah.
And so I was like, are people going to show up?
Yeah.
Are bars going to say yes? Like 'cause some of them didn't. They didn't see the value in women's sports. So like, why would we do that? And then I had to try to convince them without doing it, right? I'm like, just believe me,
Right.
Just open the doors and I will bring people. So then it became, hands on deck, get everyone possible, to show up and just start throwing stuff on social media. And it worked.
You founded it in 2025. It's been about a year. You had a huge Final Four event last year. We were able to meet you and be a part of the the Watch Women Win community. What are some of your highlights throughout this past year that you could share?
Yeah, I think one of the things I'm most proud of is giving back to our community. And I've been able to do that with everyone in this group. So it's not just me doing it, but we're doing it together. Yeah. And so I'd hosted my first ever fundraiser was Bats and Bras during the Women's College World Series. And basically everyone's entry fee was either a sports bra or a hijab. That was your entry fee.
Awesome.
People came out of the woodwork. That was probably the biggest party I ever had. I think we gathered almost 150 bras for a local high school. And it was literally like the thing you don't think about. They have uniforms, they have all this stuff, but people don't think girls stop playing because they're not comfortable in their own skin. And it was like, well, yeah, let's do something about it. And then, I had another one where it was just a little soccer team who just needed extra money so they have good meals after their game.
That's awesome.
So I think like the impact can be small too, but giving back has been really fun and doing it together.
Awesome. So what are your goals for Watch Women Win here in the near future? Obviously, we're here today about to watch the Final Four. Then we have the championship game on Sunday. But in the near future, where do you see Watch Women Win going, growing, all that good stuff?
Yeah, I mean, the goal, honestly, is to keep growing this year because next year we host the Final Four again for the second time, which is going to be ginormous because in 2018 versus now, we have two totally different worlds that we are in. So my goal, honestly, is to keep working with new places, new bars. Parsons North, first time working with them. They've been fantastic. But it's creating all those spaces because when everyone comes to our city, not everyone can fit in that arena. And that's just the truth. I've been to a Final Four where I didn't even go. I went for everything outside. I want to create spaces within our community that people know they can go, they can turn the sound on, and they're going to watch the game, and we'll have a party at all of them. Like that's the goal for real. I want people to know who Watch Women Win is because it's the biggest, largest, stage in women's sports. But also to keep giving back. Like for me, what can we do for our community? What do they need? I'm about to, sponsor a little girls hockey team.
Awesome.
From sport, just keeping it local. But honestly, I hope one day maybe this grows to all over the country. Maybe there's a, Watch Women ambassador or someone in each state. I actually met someone in Arizona over the holidays and she's like, are you bringing one here? And I was like, what? You want one here? Okay, yeah, let's go.
It's an awesome place to do it because look behind us. NWSL to Columbus. So we're trying to grow everything.
We're going to grow everything. So, I've had the support of the Greater Columbus Sports Commission, the mayor's office. Like everyone's been just fantastic. And honestly, getting to work with the NWSL has been huge. We have a watch party tomorrow for the future Challenge Cup. It's our pre-Challenge Cup to try to get everyone fired up. So there's just so many options. There's so many things, sky's the limit, honestly.
For sure.
I get a little too excited. I gotta do steps at a time. But
that's the awesome part. So as we close, just how can people get involved? Where can they find your information? Everything like that. We'll post it. We're gonna show all the BTAs, but give your pitch for people who want to, if they want to assist and partner with you in anything, or as well, just any events that you have coming up.
Yeah, I think the big thing is for the community to keep coming out, whether that's to a watch party, or if you work somewhere and you have a space, reach out. So if you go to our website, watchwomenwincbus.com, there are ways to sign up for information. You can join a membership group I just created. It's called First String. There's a way to get even more involved, but all the events are on there. Go to social media, Instagram, Facebook. I'm trying to be better at TikTok. So if anyone has any, some little extra advice, I'm not big on that, but I'm trying. But anything like that, just talk to your friends about it. For me, I get people coming to this because I talk to them, and then they talk to someone who talks. It's not always social media, to be honest. So keep sharing with your friends. Come to an event. You won't be disappointed. Meet a new friend and join your community and support women's sports.
Clara Sharp, Watch Women Win Columbus. Please visit her website and follow it everywhere. Watch Women Win Columbus. I am Candace Allen, and this is Girls Only Sports.